What's up everybody, I'm Duncan Deep and today I'm bringing you another installment in my Ultimate Guide series. This is a series where I show you how to use a Pokemon in Singles Smogon, VGC, and my own competitive meta, which is free-for-alls. There will be timestamps in the description down below showing you where you can jump to different metas, but before we go into any particular meta, we do like to cover the Pokemon in general. Today's Pokemon is Gengar, which is a little different from the other Pokemon I've done so far, as it has a Mega Evolution, which is so good it is banned from Smogon OU. So it is legal in Smogon Ubers, but I will not be covering Ubers. So we're using regular Gengar in singles, but we may use Mega-Gengar in both VGC and free-for-alls. Gengar's Ghost Poison typing is excellent offensively at the moment, as it easily takes out the Fairy types that are running all over all of these metas, and Ghost is great coverage. It also gets access to several amazing coverage moves in its sets, which allow it to hit almost any Pokemon with neutral damage. Moving on to base stats, we've got regular Gengar first. He has 130 special attack and 110 speed. This, combined with the aforementioned coverage, makes him an incredibly effective special sweeper, but unfortunately, due to his unimpressive defensive typing and his low bulk, he is easy to KO. This problem was made even worse by the fact that they removed Gengar's Levitate ability for Gen 7 and instead replaced it with Curse Body, an ability which in my opinion is particularly unimpressive as it relies on RNG in order to have any effect. Moving on to Mega-Gengar, the first thing we're going to notice is that his ability is massively improved. Mega-Gengar has the ability Shadow Tag, which prevents any non-Ghost and non-Shadow Tag opponents from switching out. This ability is incredibly useful in singles and in VGC, and for that reason it was banned from Smogon Singles and is an incredibly scary ability in VGC. On top of this, Gengar's Mega Form has been given a massive boost to the things it already did best. Its speed has been boosted up to 130, matching that of Tapu Koko, which is incredibly relevant and makes Gengar blazingly fast. In addition, it's been given a massive special attack boost from 130 to 170, meaning it hits harder than ever after Mega Evolution. Starting off with singles, we're going to jump straight in with a basic offensive Gengar. This set can be run with either a Life Orb or a Ghostium Z depending on your preference, and is running max special attack, max speed, and a timid nature to be as fast as possible. This set is running Shadow Ball and Sludge Wave for strong stab attacks, and then Focus Blast to give it close to perfect coverage. Taunt shuts down any walls that might switch in by preventing them from using their very good status moves. A good example of this is Toxapex, which if it switches in on Gengar can spam Recover and Scald, but if you taunt it first, Gengar will beat it 1v1 with Shadow Ball. The Life Orb set hits a little harder than the Ghostium Z set on average, but the Ghostium Z does allow Gengar to OHKO offensive variants of Landorus and Garchomp after just a little bit of chip. This is important as since Gengar has lost its Levitate ability, it now really needs to be able to take out those threats. Our second single set is very similar to the first. This one I only really recommend running with Ghostium Z because the substitute does chip away at your health. You don't really want to be losing health to a Life Orb, but we're running exactly the same spread with the exact same attacking moves, but instead of Taunt, we are running Substitute. Gengar forces many Pokemon in this meta to switch out. In those situations, if you click Substitute, it's going to give you a lot more opportunity to blow away your opponent's team when they switch in their check or counter to Gengar. Our final single set is similar to those previous sets that we've already discussed, but this time we're running it with Choice Specs. This hits even harder than the Life Orb variant and can very easily KO the majority of your opponent's team, but it does require you to play correctly as you cannot switch moves after you've locked yourself in with your specs. Our final move on this set, since we already have near to perfect coverage, is going to be Trick. This allows us to shut down Pokemon that would either wall or set up on this variant of Gengar. Moving on to VGC, we're mostly going to be using Mega-Gengar due to its massive increase to its base stats, in addition to its incredible ability, which reduces our opponent's options in VGC, which is always a good thing. Our first VGC set is an offensive Mega-Gengar. We're running Protect because it's really important to keep such a fragile Pokemon safe, especially when its ability keeps your opponents trapped in, so an extra turn could end up being really important. We're running Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb as our coverage moves. These do huge amounts of damage to very significant opponents such as Tapu Lele, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Koko, as well as Shadow Ball providing coverage against opposing ghost types and just hitting hard as a stab move. Our last move is going to be Will-O-Wisp on this set. I think it's really important that Gengar can shut down physical attackers, allowing it to survive for longer and trap for longer, as well as providing that all-important chip damage. Burning a Landorus T is never a bad thing. Our second VGC Mega-Gengar, and probably my favorite Gengar of all in this video, is going to be our Perish Trap Mega-Gengar. I've built an entire VGC 18 team around this, and I would be willing to share that with you guys if you're interested, so please let me know down below. This Gengar is the most important Pokemon in Perish Trap due to the fact that it both has access to Perish Song and can trap your opponents with its Shadow Tag ability. We're running Perish Song, Protect, Disable, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball because we just need one offensive move, and because ghosts are not trapped by Perish Song, we want to be able to take out those ghosts early game with a super strong Shadow Ball, and even without any special attack investment, this Shadow Ball hits like an absolute truck, OHKOing common ghosts like Blacephalon without even breaking a sweat. Perish Song is obviously there to perish our opponents. Disable is great because if you protect after Perish Songing and they've used a move on Gengar that would knock it out, Gengar is almost certainly faster than that Pokemon and can easily then disable that move, preventing it from knocking Gengar out, giving you another turn in order to protect and then switch out and get your Perish off. Finally, we should mention this EV spread. We have 248 HP, 8 special attack, and 252 speed, and we're running it Timid. Obviously, we're running it Timid because we want to be faster than everything else to maximize our chance of being able to Perish Song twice in the game, which will eliminate all 4 of our opponent's Pokemon. 248 HP maximizes our bulk, once again increasing our chance of successfully Perish Trapping our opponents, and overall this Gengar is so much fun to use, and I really do encourage you guys to try out Perish Trap as it's a ton of fun in VGC 18. We are going to give regular Gengar a chance in VGC. We're going to be running one Focus Sash set here. It's Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Taunt, Protect, very similar to one of our single sets, but we're replacing the Life Orb with a Focus Sash, and we're replacing the Focus Blast with Protect. In VGC 18, I really don't like missing Focus Blast. I think it's way more important to be able to keep Gengar safe. Taunt is absolutely awesome in this VGC meta, especially if we're running into Trick Room teams, as Gengar is super fast, and Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb are very strong stab moves. There's really not much to be said about this set. It does its job very well, and that is around about it. Finally, we're going to give a VGC Scarf set a chance. This is another set that can shut down opposing Trick Room because we are running Trick. If you trick your Scarf onto their Trick Room user, they're either forced to switch out or use Trick Room again, reversing their own Trick Room, which is awesome. It also prevents them from setting up Trick Rooms later on, because once again, you have Scarf their Trick Room setter, and they're unlikely to be able to switch it out and in multiple times in the game in order to set up a second Trick Room if you are running an offensive team. Unfortunately, Focus Blast is a necessary evil on this set, as you do need the coverage, especially for opposing Stack Attacker, and Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball are our standard stab moves. Gengar is kind of a catch-all Pokemon in VGC. It does its job incredibly well, and so it doesn't have specific partners which will always work well with Gengar. Obviously, in a Perish Trap team, you're going to want another Trapper, so Gothitelle works great, and another Perish Song user, and I prefer Politoed or Azumarill for that role. With regards to an offensive VGC set, you want things that really benefit from the opponent being trapped in with them. I really like Stack Attacker with this Gengar, because Stack Attacker benefits a great deal from your opponents being trapped in and unable to switch, and Gengar can take out threats to Stack Attacker quite easily while Stack Attacker gets up his Trick Room. Obviously, it does have the negative synergy of Gengar being such a fast Pokemon for a Trick Room team, but you can easily switch Gengar out once your Trick Room is established. With singles and VGC out of the way, it's time to move on to the meta where I like to have a little bit more fun, free-for-alls. So our first free-for-all set is a physical Gengar with a Life Orb. Now obviously, Gengar's base 65 physical attack is nothing to write home about, but this can be an advantage in free-for-alls as people will view you as more of a joke set and won't take you seriously. We're going to be using Reflect type in order to change our type to something more defensive if needs be, but also Power Up Punch, so if we can turn ourselves into a fighting type, all of a sudden we have Stab on our Power Up Punch and we're increasing our attack as we go along. Poison Jab and Shadow Punch are our standard stab moves, just in case we don't want to Reflect type, we just want to Power Up Punch and then get some good stab moves off. This Gengar is completely ridiculous, but it is super fun to use, and that's the point of free-for-alls, where you use the more out there fun sets. This is a set we would never dream of bringing to VGC or singles, but we would definitely have a ton of fun with it in free-for-alls. Of course, we are running it max attack adamant to give it that respectable 251 attack stat at level 100, and max speed will give us 319 speed without a positive nature, which is enough to outspeed the majority of free-for-all Pokemon. Our second free-for-all set is just as silly, but maybe a little more viable. We are running a Gengar with a Gengarite, so it's Mega-Gengar with Shadow Tag again, and this time we're running Curse. Curse will cut our HP in half, but it will also put a curse on our opponent, which will cost them a quarter of their HP a turn. This is great with Mega-Gengar, as he does trap them in with Shadow Tag, and Substitute and Pain Split will allow us to easily repeat this while draining our opponent's health with Pain Split. Protect is here just to give us an extra turn of curse damage when needed, and it's a very, very fun, very, very cool free-for-all set, so I hope you guys enjoy using this one too. With those ridiculous free-for-all sets out of the way, that is the end of today's guide. I hope it helped you guys out with using Gengar in singles VGC or even free-for-alls. If it did, please remember to leave a like on the video down below and leave a comment down below letting me know which sets you would like to use for Gengar that you haven't seen in this video, and also which Pokemon you'd like to see me cover next. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you with my next guide. Alright then guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, you can click up here to see more videos of this type on my channel. If you want to check out something else a little bit different, then you can click down here. And if you want to see everything that I upload, you can click the subscribe button right here.